Okay, so let's dive into this Ripple situation with the SEC. It seems like every article we have here, FX Street, TradingView, News, Finance, Magnates, Motley Fool, and FX Empire, they're all buzzing about this appeal deadline, January 15th, 2025. That's today.
Yeah, and that's why this deep dive is so important, I think, for anyone listening. You know, the SEC's decision, it could have a huge impact on the future of XRP. And honestly, it could set a precedent for the whole crypto space.
Yeah, because this isn't just about whether or not Ripple sold XRP as an unregistered security, right? Which is what the SEC has been saying since, 2020? It's about what it even means for a token to even be a security.
Exactly. And that July 2023 ruling, the one that found that programmatic sales of XRP didn't meet the Howey test criteria. To be classified as a security, it was huge. Not just a legal win for Ripple, but like a potential turning point for how we define digital assets.
So help me understand this a little bit better. The court basically said that selling XRP on exchanges doesn't automatically make it a security. What makes this such a game changer?
Yeah.
Especially, for someone holding XRP.
Well, think about it this way. If the SEC had won this case, it could have set a precedent for them to go after pretty much any token sold on an exchange. This win for Ripple throws a wrench in that plan. It breathes new life into XRP. We saw U.S. exchanges relist XRP almost immediately, and there's been a flood of ETF applications since then.
It's like the market was holding its breath, and now it can finally exhale. But the story doesn't end there, though, right? There's this looming appeal deadline. And nobody seems to know what the SEC is going to do.
The suspense is definitely killing all of us. Some experts think the SEC might back down, especially with Gary Gensler stepping down and Paul Atkins, who is a known crypto advocate, taking over.
Oh, that's right. This whole leadership shakeup at the SEC adds another layer of intrigue here. What are the chances, though, that they just drop the appeal entirely?
It's hard to say. On one hand, they've invested a lot of time and resources into this case, and Gensler has been very vocal about his tough stance on crypto. Dropping the appeal would be a big blow to his legacy, even as he exits.
But on the other hand, if Atkins really is as crypto-friendly as everyone says, wouldn't it make sense for him to just kind of start fresh and maybe focus on creating clearer regulations instead of fighting these old battles?
Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. But let's not forget the SEC's mission is investor protection. Even if Atkins is more open to crypto, he still has to consider whether he believes the initial ruling jeopardizes that mission. It's a tough call.
And it sounds like Ripple's not exactly making it easy for them to back down gracefully. I read that Stuart Alderati, their chief legal officer, had some pretty strong words about the SEC's refusal to postpone the appeal filing, even with the change in leadership.
He did not hold back. He basically accused the SEC of wasting taxpayer money and creating unnecessary tension in the market. He even called it a war on crypto under Gensler.
Wow, strong words. What does this tell us about Ripple's mindset going forward?
I think it shows they're ready for a fight. They're not backing down, and they're prepared to defend their position. Regardless of who's at the helm of the SEC, this case is far from over, and both sides seem determined to see it through to the end.
This is getting juicy. So what are we looking at here specifically? For you as an XRP holder,
Yeah.
What happens if the SEC does appeal? What happens if they don't?
Well, let's break that down. If the SEC appeals, it throws us back into a world of uncertainty. The case could drag on for years, and that cloud hanging over XRP could really stifle its growth. We could see exchanges hesitant to fully embrace XRP, and institutional investors might stay away until there's a clear resolution.
So basically a wait-and-see approach for a lot of folks, not exactly the news XRP enthusiasts were hoping for. Well, what if the SEC doesn't appeal? What does that world look like?
Now, that's where things get interesting. If they don't appeal, it's a major validation of that July ruling. It basically sets a precedent. Selling XRP on exchanges doesn't make it a security. That could open the floodgates for XRP adoption.
Okay, I'm seeing dollar signs in my eyes here. But realistically, what kind of impact are we talking about?
Well, think about those Japanese banks adopting the XRP ledger. That was huge news, right? Imagine that kind of adoption, but on a global scale. Financial institutions could start using XRP for cross-border payments, making transactions faster, cheaper, and more efficient.
And that's where Ripple's vision of XRP as a bridge currency really starts to take shape. We're talking about a potential revolution in how money moves around the world.
Exactly. And don't forget about the potential impact on the price of XRP. We saw it jump over 5% yesterday. On the news that the SEC might not appeal, if they actually confirm they're not appealing, we could see a much bigger surge.
All right, let's talk numbers. What kind of price predictions are we seeing for XRP in a world where the SEC backs down?
The analysts are getting pretty bullish. Some are predicting XRP could hit $4 in the short term, based on that symmetrical triangle pattern that's been forming.
Hold on, remind me, what's so special about a symmetrical triangle pattern? It sounds pretty basic.
It might sound basic, but it's a powerful signal in technical analysis. Basically, when you see the price of an asset bouncing between two converging trend lines, it indicates a period of consolidation before a potential breakout. And in XRP's case, the breakout is expected to be upward.
So this pattern is basically telling us that traders are getting ready for a big move, and the anticipation is building.
Exactly. And with the SEC decision looming, the potential energy coiled up in that triangle is enormous. If the news is positive, we could see a massive release of that energy, propelling XRP upward.
That's fascinating. So $4 could be just the beginning if things go Ripple's way.
Right. And some long-term predictions are even more optimistic. We're seeing estimates ranging from $10 to even $70 by 2025, depending on the pace of adoption and overall market sentiment.
Those are some serious gains. But I have to ask,
Right.
What about Ripple's other initiatives? They haven't just been sitting around waiting for the SEC to make up its mind, right?
Absolutely not. They've been quietly making some very strategic moves. Remember their partnership with Chainlink?
Yeah, the one that's supposed to integrate XRP in the DeFi ecosystem.
Exactly. They're bringing Ripple's RLUSD stablecoin onto the Ethereum blockchain, allowing for more efficient trading and lending within DeFi applications.
So they're essentially expanding XRP's utility beyond just cross-border payments and into the world of decentralized finance.
That's pretty smart, considering the explosive growth we've seen in DeFi.
It's a brilliant move. They're diversifying XRP's use cases, making it more appealing to a wider range of investors and developers. And it shows they're not just reacting to the SEC, they're actively building for the future, regardless of the outcome of the lawsuit.
It's like they're playing 4D chess while the SEC is still trying to figure out checkers.
So with all these developments, the potential SEC appeal, Ripple's strategic partnerships, and the bullish price predictions, what's the biggest takeaway for someone like you, who's following XRP closely?
I think the biggest takeaway is that this is a pivotal moment for XRP. The SEC's decision will have a huge impact on its trajectory, but Ripple is also taking proactive steps to ensure its success regardless of the outcome. The next few months will be crucial, but the future for XRP looks incredibly bright, especially for those who are prepared to ride out the storm.
Okay, so buckle up. This is going to be a wild ride. But let's not forget about the bigger picture here. What does this whole Ripple saga tell us about the relationship between traditional finance and the crypto world?
That's a great question. On one hand, you have institutions like those Japanese banks embracing the XRT ledger, signaling a growing acceptance of blockchain technology. On the other hand, you have the SEC, a symbol of traditional finance, essentially trying to control and regulate this new disruptive force.
It's like a tug of war between the old guard and the new kids on the block.
Exactly. And the outcome of this Ripple case could determine who gains the upper hand. Will traditional finance adapt and integrate crypto? Or will they try to stifle its growth?
You know, that reminds me of all the buzz around Bitcoin lately.
Yeah.
Especially with Trump back in the White House. I've been seeing articles about potential crypto-friendly policies, even talk of a U.S. strategic Bitcoin reserve.
Right. There's definitely a sense that the political winds are shifting in favor of crypto. At least in the U.S., Trump's expected repeal of SAB 121 could be a game changer. For institutions looking to get involved with crypto.
And that strategic Bitcoin reserve idea, while still very speculative, is a fascinating concept. It suggests that even governments are starting to recognize the potential of Bitcoin as a strategic asset.
It's a sign that the world is taking notice of crypto's growing influence. And it raises some interesting questions. If governments are embracing Bitcoin, will they try to exert more control over it? Or will they allow it to flourish as a truly decentralized asset?
It's almost like we're at a crossroads. The decisions made in the next few years could determine the future of finance as we know it.
That's why it's so crucial for everyone, not just crypto enthusiasts, to understand what's at stake here. This isn't just about geeky technology or making a quick buck. This is about the fundamental principles of finance, power, and control.
And the potential for a more inclusive and equitable financial system.
Absolutely. And the choices we make today will determine whether we realize that potential or not.
So what does all this mean for someone like you, who's trying to navigate this complex and rapidly changing landscape?
Well, I think the key is to stay informed. Stay curious, and don't be afraid to ask questions. The crypto world can be intimidating, but it's also full of opportunity.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket either. Diversify your portfolio and always be prepared for the unexpected. This is a volatile market. and things can change quickly.
That's good advice. And remember, you don't have to be a technical expert to get involved in crypto. There are plenty of resources available to help you learn and understand the basics.
That's where we come in. We're here to break down the complex topics, provide you with insights, and help you make sense of it all. And as this Ripple saga continues to unfold, we'll be here to guide you every step of the way.
But before we wrap up this deep dive, let's circle back to Ripple for a moment. We've talked a lot about the legal battle and the broader implications, but what about the people behind the scenes?
Oh, right. The human element. We can't forget about that.
Exactly. We mentioned Stuart Algerati, Ripple's chief legal officer, and his fiery defense of the company. He's definitely a force to be reckoned with.
But there's another key player in this story who I think deserves more attention.
I'm all ears. Tell me more.
I'm talking about Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple's CEO.
Hey.
He's been at the helm throughout this entire ordeal, and he's played a crucial role in shaping Ripple's strategy. And he's been incredibly vocal about his belief in the power of XRP and blockchain technology to revolutionize the financial industry. And he hasn't been shy about criticizing the SEC's approach to crypto regulation either.
Yeah, he's called them out for stifling innovation and harming American businesses. You really have to admire his willingness to stand up to the establishment and fight for what he believes in.
It takes guts to go head-to-head with a powerful agency like the SEC. But, I think his leadership has really galvanized the XRP community.
Yep.
People see him as a fighter, someone who's not afraid to take on the system.
He's become a symbol of the crypto industry's struggle for legitimacy and recognition, and his vision for a more inclusive and efficient financial system. It resonates with a lot of people, both inside and outside the crypto world.
Yeah, that's the thing about this whole Ripple saga. It's bigger than just one company or one cryptocurrency. It's about the future of finance and the role that technology will play in shaping that future.
It's about the balance of power between governments, institutions, and individuals, and it's about the potential for blockchain technology to empower people and create a more equitable world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's leave you, the listener, with one final thought to ponder. We've explored the legal battles, the market trends, the technical analysis, and the human stories behind this fascinating and complex world of Ripple and XRP.
We've seen how the outcome of the SEC case could impact not just XRP, but the entire crypto landscape. And we've discussed the broader implications for the relationship between traditional finance and the crypto world.
But the question that remains is, what role will you play in this unfolding story? Will you be a passive observer, or will you actively participate in shaping the future of finance?
The choice is yours, but we encourage you to stay informed, stay curious, and don't be afraid to get involved. The future of finance is being written right now, and your voice matters.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.